Hi, my name is Paul Magus. I'm the fuel manager at Bay & Bay. Today we're going to be talking about driving efficiency. You'll see on this graphic I've got a picture of a tomahawk steak here. That's supposed to represent that this is really where the meat is on the bone as far as your opportunity to save money on fuel. A really big part of that is understanding the type of work that the engine is doing just to move forward down the road. So if you accelerate to 70 miles per hour on the interstate and you stick your hand out the window, you're feeling what is basically a Category 1 force hurricane pressing against your hand. And that is an awful lot of force that you can feel. Well, if you think about it, your truck is 13.5 feet high, it is 8.5 feet wide, and you've got a 53-foot sail on the back. A tractor trailer really has an enormous aerodynamic profile, and it takes a lot of power and a lot of energy just to push that through the air. The faster you go, the more air you got to push out of the way in the same amount of time. And as speed increases, so does aerodynamic drag resistance, and it actually increases exponentially. The tractor's engine horsepower output increases with speed because of higher aero resistance. So for example, to maintain 75 miles per hour, your engine is going to have to put out about 200 horsepower, not to accelerate, not to increase speed, but just to maintain. So as you're driving down the road, it is constantly putting out that much power. 65 miles per hour, on the other hand, is down to around 150 horsepower, much less. And then 60 miles per hour, you pull off the interstate and you get onto a 2-lane highway somewhere, is gonna be barely over 100. So the difference in speeds are not that dramatic. 75 to 60 is only 15 miles per hour decrease in speed, but it is about a 100 horsepower decrease in power output. And so you've probably heard this term all the time, speed kills MPG, which is true, but it's not necessarily the speed that's killing your MPG. Speed increases aero resistance, which requires your engine to put out more horsepower. What does an engine do when it uses more horsepower? It burns more fuel, of course. So the faster you run, the more power it takes to maintain that speed. That is why speed kills MPG.